Hello dear students, welcome back to our channel Study Shark. I pray you all are fine and doing well in your studies as well. Today dear students, we are starting class 10th, CBSE class 10th English language and literature course. So in which dear student we are starting with our first section, that is reading section. You know very well dear students that your English paper consists of 4 sections, in which the first section is reading section, second section is writing section, creative writing, second section is grammar and creative writing skills, and the third section is language and supplementary section. So these 4 sections you have been given in your English paper. So bacha, you know very well that in reading and creative writing skills you can easily score 40 marks, because see, reading skills comes of 20 marks because you have 2 passages consisting of 10 marks, okay, each. And secondly bache, you have grammar and creative writing section, which consists of again 20 marks, because 10 marks there are certain filling the blanks, and 10 marks there is creative writing skills, in which you have been given in which you have been asked to write an analytical paragraph or a letter. And there is a section C, which is of literature and supplementary, in which there are questions from your English literature book and supplementary book, so they also together sum up to 40. So these 40 and 40, they together make 80 marks, okay. So like this your 80 marks paper is designed. Now it's very reading section and creative writing skills, grammar are very scoring. So bache, if you will do these topics very sincerely, very clearly, I am pretty sure that you are going to get full marks in these topics. And then literature supplementary are also very easy. You have to just write answers very clearly and very, by using good words, okay. So today let's cover up our reading section topic. So dear student, let's start with reading section. So as you know very well bache, that reading section consists of 20 marks, because there are two passages given to you which are 10 marks, which are of 10 marks each, okay. So they together make up 20. So see, reading comprehension or reading passage is the ability of making meaning from the text. This is very important. See, what is reading comprehension or reading the passages? It is the ability of making meaning from the text. That means are you able to take out meaning from the text? So basically this CBSE want to check, because you are class 10 student, you should know how to take out meaning from the sentences, okay. You are reading you are learning English since your class LKG, UKG, first, second, right? So you should definitely know. Second, now next is the main objective of reading passages to gain an overall understanding of what is described in text. Now in class 10th examination, 2 types of passages will be given to you. Now what are these 2 types of passages? Let's see carefully, okay. Discursive passages, now these are of 400 to 450 words. A discursive passage may include the opinion of a person, which are generally argumentative and persuasive. And then we have interpretative, and then it allows students to arrive at a conclusion through reasoning and understanding rather than intuition. It presents a balanced and objective approach towards the subject being discussed. Okay, now what are discursive passages? These are the basically passages which contain the opinion of a particular person. Generally it have argumented tone or something like this. So dear student, in these passages it is very easy to solve these passages, because these passages are way too easy, because just in these passages only the opinion of a person is given. So it's very easy to find out the answers from reading the text. So these passages are very scoring, and I'm pretty sure that CBSE gives one discursive passage and one case based factual passage. So definitely these are very scoring, okay. Now case-based factual passages. Now these passages generally contain 200 to 250 words. A case-based factual passage is composed of information in a direct manner about a particular subject. Okay, so direct information is there. It also contains the visual and the verbal inputs such as graphs, charts, pie charts, etc. These are also present in this passage. Such a passage focuses completely on details or facts, okay. So such a passage focuses completely on details or facts. It may include instructions, a report, or a description. It helps the reader to develop a complete idea of a specific person, place, object, or a thing, okay. So now what are the steps of attempting the reading comprehension questions. So this is these points are very important, and definitely, dear student, these are going to help you in reading the passage and also answer the questions correctly. Okay, read each and every line of the passage carefully. Now see bachche, whenever you are reading the passage, you have to make sure that you are reading each and every line very carefully. Reading the passage twice is always helpful. Reading the passage twice means you are reading passage 2 times. Okay, as it helps in better understanding and make it easier for students to students to find answer. So why this is important? Because it helps student to find answer more easily, because if student will read it again and again, definitely every time you will read the passage, you will understand something new. So definitely these steps are very important. If the title of the passage given, read it first, as it gives the central idea of the passage. Very important points, dear students. If you are reading the title of the passage, and if the title of the passage is making you understand what the what is being what basically the writer is talking in this passage, so definitely it's very important for you people to read the title and extracting out the meaning from that title. Next is underline the difficult word while reading the passage. Definitely bachche, if you will find any difficult word while reading a passage, you have to underline it quickly, because the because definitely you may be occur you may be finding out the questions when you will read the questions in the question section. So definitely you will find a question regarding that particular difficult word, because difficult words are added in passage just to examine whether you are able to understand these types of difficult words as well. Okay, so next is always give emphasis on the beginning and the end of the passage. Very important bacha, because in the beginning and the end of the passage only the most difficult words and most I will not say most difficult words, but I will definitely say that in the beginning and the end of the passage there is a central idea of the passage. If you read these two passages very carefully, the beginning and the end one, you will definitely able to know what the passage is talking about, and you will be it would be very helpful for you to find out the answers. Okay, then next is, while answering, be sure you have clearly understood the question. Answer must be relevant to the question. This is very important, because while you are answering, be sure that you have clearly understood the question. This is very important. If you will not understand the question clearly, you will not answer the question clearly. And if the answer would be not written clearly, so definitely your marks would be deducted. So definitely, dear student, you have to read the questions carefully, you have to understand it thoroughly, and then you have to write the answer. Okay, so this is very important, and definitely you have to follow these steps, because if you follow these steps, these are really going to help you in writing out the answers very nicely, and definitely scoring maximum marks in your reading sections, isn't it? So let's move on to our first passage that we are going to solve today, because I have brought 2-3 passages for you, just for practice, so that you can get idea that which type of questions are asked in passage. Okay, so let's do our first case based factual passage, in which you have been given some pie charts, some normal data in form of graphs. Okay, so you have to read these graphs chart, and then you have to answer the questions. Okay, now dear students, let's read this passage and understand what this passage is talking about. Okay, so let's read it. India's population is expected to grow by 25%, with reference to 2011 to 1.52 billion by 2036, according to the final report of Technical Group on Population Projections dated July 2020. The group was constituted by National Commission on Population (NCP) under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, with the mandate to provide population projections for the period 2011 to 2036. I hope everything is understandable in this paragraph. There is nothing difficult word. There is no difficult word in this passage to be underlined, but dear student, it's very important to extract out the idea. So from this particular paragraph, we can extract out this idea that the passage is basically talking about the population expectations. Okay, basically there is a report which is made on basically projecting that how the population is going to grow. So this we can extract out from this particular paragraph, isn't it? Now let's come on second paragraph. Okay, India's population growth rate is expected to decline or to its lowest since independence in the 2011 to 2021 decade. With the decadal growth rate of 12.5%, it will decline further to 8.4% in the 2021 to 21 to 2031 decade, as per the report which the Wire has seen. According to these projections, India will overtake China as the world most populous country around 2031, almost a decade later, the United Nations projections of 2022. India's population is projected to increase to 1.52 billion by 2036. Okay, so again from this paragraph only the numbers are given to you, that how the population is growing, and definitely we'll overtake the China. These are the information which is given in this second paragraph, isn't it? Now let's come across the third paragraph which is given to us. So the projections have been delayed quite significantly. Ideally they should have come by 2016, but there were delays in setting up the committee, and then more delays at the government's. And even after we submitted the report, we had submitted our report on November 2019, said a member of committee wishing to remain anonymous. Okay, anonymous, this is very important word. Okay, underline it, because most of the students don't know the meaning of this word, so you have to underline it. Okay, maybe you know the meaning or maybe not, so I'm assuming that you children know the meaning. Okay, because again I know this very well, that you children don't give time to math, these English and Hindi language subject. You always give time to maths and science, isn't it? So that's why I'm saying to underline this word. Okay, this was confirmed by two other members as well. India's population was 1.21 billion as per the census of 2011. Now, what's the meaning of census? Census means when you are basically collecting the data. Okay, doing surveys. Okay, and projections now estimate that the population will grow by 311 million by 2036. The report projects that much as 70% of this increase will be in urban areas. India's urban population will increase from 377 million in 2011 to 594 million in 2036, a growth of 57%. So while 31% of Indians were living in the urban India in 2011, that will grow to 39% by 2036, isn't it? So see, report only the numbers are given to you, and I hope this understandable, because there are no difficult word in these paragraphs, isn't it? So they are just talking about India's urban population, which is also increasing day by day. So consequently, the proportion of the rural population will decline from 69% to 61%, as urban population is projected to increase more than twice the projected increase in rural population. So I hope this is also understandable. These three paragraphs are just talking about the number, and the last paragraph is talking about the rural population, isn't it? Now I think we are ready to answer the questions of this passage, isn't it? So let's come to first question of this passage. So based on your understanding of the passage, answer any 10 following questions. So in exam you will be given 12 questions, in which you have to answer only 10 questions. Okay, so let's come across the first question, that is study the following statements. India will become the most populous country in the world by 2031. So if you'll see this, the information is given in the first or second paragraph, if I remember very nicely. So if you'll see here, that India will overtake China as the world's most populous country around 2031. So the same line is given here also. Definitely this sentence is correct. Now let's come in next sentence. China's population will diminish owing to increased deaths due to COVID-19 pandemic. So in the whole passage that we have read, nothing is about COVID-19 pandemic, so nothing is given about COVID-19, so definitely we will deny this option. Okay, deny this particular option, that is option D. Okay, now C, is saying the proportion of Indian rural population will decline from 69% to 61%. The same line, I think so, it is given in paragraph number 6. So you can see consequently the proportion of rural population will decline from 69% to 61% as urban population is projected to increase more than twice the projected increase in rural population. So definitely this is the answer. So both these options are correct. Now if we see here, so study the following sentences. Now they are particularly asking about that which of the following statements are true. So if you'll see, the option number A is given, both A and C are true. So definitely A and C are true, we know this very well. Option number B is saying C is true, A is false. So we will not go in other options since we know the answer. So both A and C are true. Okay, so we'll go with option number A. Now next question is, study the following statements. India's population growth rate is expected to decline. Okay. Second option is given, second statement is given basically. India will overtake China as the world's most populous country around 2021. So you know very well this statement is wrong because it will overtake China as the world's most populous country around 2031. So this statement is wrong. India's population was 1.21 billion as per the census of 2011. So India's population was 1.21 billion. So 1.21 billion as per the census of 2011. These two sentences we have to check. Okay, so if you will come across these first or second paragraph, I guess. So if you'll see, 1.21 billion as per the census of 2011. So let's see. So if you'll notice in paragraph number 4, India's population was 1.21 billion as per the census of 2011. So this statement is absolutely correct. Okay. Then the next statement, so India's population growth rate is expected to decline. So is this true? Is this true, dear students? No, this is not true, because obviously this whole passage is talking about the population growth that is occurring in India day by day. So definitely this statement is false. And second statement is also false. Now let's see the options. Okay. Both A and B are true. Definitely A and B both are not true because these both statements are false. Second option is C is true, A is false. Yes, we can go ahead with this option, but let's see the other options as well. A and B are true. So no, A and B are absolutely false. Then option number D is A is true, B is false. So A is true. Is A true? No, A is not true because A is false. We have in this whole passage, the whole passage is talking about the population growth that is occurring in India. So definitely A is false. So the option number B, that is C, is true, A is false, is correct. Now the next is, which of the following statement is true in the context of the passage? Okay. Let's see all the statements. Statement number 1, which is A, says the rural population will increase as compared to the urban population's growth. So we'll talk about it. The rural population will decline as compared to the urban population growth. Then statement number 3 is the rural population will remain same as at the present. And the option number D, which the rural population will show at least 61% rise from now. So if you see very carefully, if you have read the passage very carefully, this last paragraph, which is paragraph number 6, consequently the proportion of rural population will decline from 69% to 61%, as the urban population is projected to increase more than twice the projected increase in the rural population. So if you notice here, dear student, very carefully, here is written very clearly that the rural population is basically declining. So definitely all the options which are supporting rural population or which are basically saying that rural population is growing would be incorrect. So let's see which are these options. So rural population will increase as compared to urban population. This option is absolutely incorrect because you know very well the rural population is declining from 69% to 61%, isn't it? Second option is the rural population will decline as compared to urban population growth. This option I think we can think about, but let's see the other options as well. The rural population will remain same. Absolutely false. We have already seen that rural population is declining. Rural population will show at least 61% rise from now. Absolutely false. So the option number B, which is the rural population will decline as compared to the urban population growth, is absolutely correct. Now the question number 4 is, it will decline further to 8.4 percentage in 2021 to 2031 decade. This means that, so you know very well, in the paragraph number 2 this statement is given that India's population growth is expected to decline to its lowest since the independence in 2011 to 2021 decade, with the decadal growth rate of 12.5 percentage. It will decline further to 8.4 percentage in 2021 to 2020 the 2031 decade as per the report. Okay, so it is declining, which the wire has seen. So see, the option is given, that means the India's mortality, the India's mortality, decadal growth, the declining, the basically it is talking about the population growth decline. Okay, expected to decline at to its lowest. Okay, so again it's much higher, but it is talking about that to its lowest form it can decline is 8.4%. Okay, so India's mortality rate is expected to decline drastically. India's infancy rate is expected to decline drastically. India's population growth is rated to population growth rate is expected to decline drastically, or India's population is expected to decline drastically. So it is talking about the population growth rate. देखो बच्चा, the two options which are given you, A and B, they are absolutely wrong, because see, it is not talking about mortality rate. You know what very well that what mortality rate means. Infancy rate, you know very well what is infancy rate. मतलब how many infants are born in the country. Okay, if we talk about in the ratio of thousand between, basically it is a ratio. So in that particular ratio, how many infants are born. So is that infancy rate is going to decline. So basically infancy rate is how many infants are born. Okay, if in rate of infants are declining, so that means definitely the population of infants or the infant rate is declining. Now mortality, what do you mean by mortality? I want to ask you this question because I hope so that most of you dear students, you must have read mortality word in your social science book. So that's why I want to check whether you people know mortality means or not, because I'm assuming that you are big enough, or you can say that you are big enough to know the meaning of mortality. So definitely please give the answer in the comment section, or if you don't know, I'll definitely answer what do you mean by mortality. Okay, so basically in the end of this video I'll tell you what mortality means. So I'm talking that I'm saying that right now when you're watching this video, in this part, please immediately answer in the comment section if you know the meaning of mortality. If you don't know, I'm going to tell in this video only in the end of this video. Okay, just to check whether you people know what mortality means, I just want to check this. So that's why I'm asking the question, because this word is very common in your social science book. I am very sure of it, because in your I think so in your geography book you must have read about this word, maybe in your class 9th population chapter or somewhere. Okay, now then answer to this question is, India's population growth rate is expected to decline drastically. Okay, now the next question is, the purpose of above report was to give population projections for 2036, population projections for 2011, population projections for 2011 to 2036, or population projections for 2031. So definitely bacha, the answer is population projections for 2011 to 2036, because if you'll notice very nicely bache, the last date that is mentioned in this whole paragraph is 2036, and the date from which they have started all these talks about population growth rate is 2011. So definitely they are talking about population projections from 2011 to 2036. Okay, so the answer is 2011 to 2036. If I'll ask you this simple maths question, that what is the difference between these years. Okay, How many years difference is there? So please answer in the comment section. I hope everybody knows this answer, since it is a very easy questions for all of you grade 10th students. Okay, but still I'm asking because I just want to create some fun in the lecture. Okay, now the next question is, India's population is projected to increase to 1.252 billion by 2036. This statement is a pleasant surprise, ironical, a piece of good news, a logical conclusion. So see, population increasing is not a good thing. Seriously, population should be balanced. It should be not too much, because the population will increase, the unemployment rate will increase. Definitely more people would be unemployed. They would not get jobs, and the survival of people could also become very threatened. So that's why population is not a good thing. Population is just taking food, and it is basically making our economy to decline. Okay, so definitely growing population is increasing population is not good. Balance population is very good for country or a nation, but if the population increasing very much, so it's not very good for a country. So a pleasant surprise, not at all. A piece of good news, not at all. A logical conclusion, not at all. It is an ironical statement. Okay, now the next statement, next question is, the title of the report should be, first, population in India. Then next is population growth in India. Then growth of population, India, the most populous country. See, if you'll notice in whole paragraph, it is only talking about the population growth in India from 2011 to 2036. Projections basically they are making. So population in India, we are not talking about population. We are just talking about population growth rate. So this option is absolutely wrong. Growth of population, not at all. We are talking about population growth rate. You have to be specific. Okay, these can also be the answers, but we have to be specific. If from 4 options, you have to select the most specific one. Next is India, the most populous country. Again, it is not mentioned anywhere about India's most populous country, about India being the most populous country. Okay, it is only talking about the growth rate, population growth rate that is occurring in India day by day. Okay, so population growth in India is the very specific answer to this question. Okay, next is why did the projections come in July 2020? So if you'll notice very carefully, bacha, so in paragraph number 3, the projections have been delayed quite significantly. Ideally they should have come by 2016, but there were delays in the setting up the committee, and then more delays at the government's end. So see, they should come in 2016, but they came in 2020, isn't it? So why they came in 2020? Because there were delays at the government end. They have given their report, okay, but the government end, but because of government end, the reports were late. Okay, so definitely the answer would be delay by the government. Okay, and what could be the other basically reason for this? If you notice very carefully, it is also given, but there were the delays in setting up the committee. So setting up the committee was also one of the reason, and the second reason was delays at the government's end. So we'll go with option number. If you'll see the options very carefully, so delay up in setting up the committee, delay by the government, delay by the committee, or both A and B. So see, delay by the committee is not anything. Delay in setting up the committee is correct. Okay, so delay in setting up the committee and delay by the government are the 2 options which are supporting, so which are basically the answer of this question. So we'll go with option number D, which is both A and B. Question number 9 is, choose the correct option to answer the following. According to the passage, how much delay from the UN projections can be seen in India becoming the most populated country in the world? So see, if you notice very carefully, there is basically a line which is mentioning about United Nations as well. If you'll notice very carefully in the option paragraph number 2, it is written, India will overtake China as the most populous country around 2031, almost a decade. Notice this word decade very carefully. decade later than the United Nations projections of 2022. Almost a decade later. Decade means 10 years later, 10%. Basically, when you are talking about decade, so decade is 10%. Okay, and anywhere else, anywhere else, there is I'm just seeing if anywhere else also about UN the passage has mentioned anything. So um so I don't think the student in anywhere else also about UN it is mentioned. So definitely decade word is written, so it is giving us the hint that it is 10%. Basically it is related to 10. Okay, so if you'll see the options very carefully, dear students. So first it is written that of a quarter of a century, that of a half of a century, that of 10% of a century, or that of an entire century. So I would definitely go with the option that of a 10% of a century. Okay, according to the passage, when should the projections have come? Okay, by 2016, in 2016, after 2016, or none of these. Okay, if you'll notice the line very carefully, bachche, so it is written by 2016, means it could come before 2016 also, but till 2016 it should come. Okay, this is the meaning of by 2016. In 2016 means in 2016 only, not before that, not after that. But by 2016 means it could come before also, and if it would come it could come before 2016 also, but it should come till 2016. In 2016 means it should come in 2016 only, not before that and not after that. Okay, now it is after 2016, it is obviously it is not the answer. Okay, so none of these is not the answer, so the answer is option number A, which is by 2016. Now comes 11th question, that is filling the blanks. This passage contains the decadal growth rate for growth rate for decade 2011 to 2021, which is decadal growth rate. What is the decadal growth rate? Let's see. If you'll notice in paragraph number 2, it is written that with decade, the decadal growth of 12.5%. Okay, so definitely the answer is 12.5%. Then the next question is the number by which the population of India is estimatedly to grow by 2036 is. So if you notice very carefully, there is written in the fourth paragraph, if you notice, the India's population was 1.21 billion as per the census of 2011, and the projections now estimate that population will grow by 311 million by 2036. So the answer is 311 million. Can you imagine how big the number is, isn't it? Now the next is question number 12. Now this is the question which most of the students are very afraid of, because they are not able to identify the correct word, because their vocabulary is not so strong. So definitely some words are there in passage which give trouble to students, and they are not able to find out their meanings. So I would definitely suggest a tip, or I will give you a tip here, that how you can extract the meaning of that particular word, even if you don't know its actual meaning. How you can just basically create its meaning. So basically now the first question is, find the word from the passage which means same as estimate. Now see, estimate means when we measure or we project something. Okay, so if you notice here, the one word has come, estimate, projection. See, estimate means what? When we are measuring, when we are projecting. So definitely the word projection has come in this passage many times. So what is the word from the passage which means same as estimate? See, projected would be not, because projected is what? Projected is the verb. But when we talk about projection, projection is the actual word. So projection means to estimate. So I would definitely go with projection. Okay, projected is acting like a verb, but projection is what the word is. Okay. Now the next is the word from the passage which is opposite in meaning to the word increase. Opposite they are asking. Increase opposite is what? Decline, isn't it? When the population declining means it is decreasing, isn't it? So what will be the answer? Decline. So how easy these questions are, word one. And if you're studying in class 10th and you're not able to answer these type of small questions, so this is very shameful because you are learning English from since class first. So you should be able to answer these questions. So now let's come to our next passage, which is discursive passage. So I think the time is, you know, we have already covered up one passage, and you know very well that 35 minutes are already, the video is too long. It is 35 minutes, so definitely I can't extend it further, because if the video would be wrong, it would be very difficult for you children, and I don't want you children to basically see in screen for such a long time. So we have to end video right now, and discursive passage will do in another day. Okay, so till then, dear student, take care, and if you are new in the channel, please subscribe so that we could get the motivation to create more such types of videos for you. Okay, so thank you so much, dear students, for watching the video.